Norwegian feminist faces 3 years in prison for saying biological men can't be this. So where is the line on hate speech? Is that the line? Whoa. This is in Norway, but this is what the Democrats would want to do here. I mean, you just know that. I mean, you should just know that just from a survival instinct technique way. Especially if you're listening to this channel and you have independent thought. The term hate speech is an attack on you. Your independent thought can be considered hate. So the article goes on to say, yes, really, Zero Hedge article. Christina Ellingson of the global feminist organization Women's Declaration International is under police investigation for making the claim in a tweet in which she criticized the trans activism group. So she said some things that, hey, why do you teach males to be this or that? Isn't that this or that? And that is questioned as hate speech. Norway's hate crime laws were made more draconian last year to make criticizing gender ideology a crime. This isn't like Babylon Bee getting banned from Twitter. This is like you getting cuffed and put in a cell. Hands behind your back. Woo-wee. We're getting to somewhere. To certain groups, the fact that women and girls are female and men cannot be women and all that is considered hateful. Ellingson told Redux, adding that the police are investigating her for what she said. The fact that police are legally able to investigate and persecute women who engage in women's rights is concerning. That sounds like me understating something with a milk comment. It's concerning. It's scary as hell. Imagine that. I'm listening right now. Is somebody going to knock on the door? What did you say?
What did you say, nigga?
That's where they are in Norway. This precedent has already been set by a 2021 case. I didn't even know about this case where a Norwegian man was jailed for 3 weeks and fined for misgendering someone who identifies as transgender on Facebook. Imagine that. And I'm not for misgendering anybody. I've done videos on that. It's just, it doesn't bother me. I know, again, you're talking about force where somebody says, I identify as a transformer. I identify as Bumblebee. Call me Bumblebee. That's an act of force. And then you don't call them Bumblebee and you're like, and then they're mad. Well, that's what's happening. They can call themselves whatever they want. And if you don't obey by that, force will be met by force. 3 weeks jailed and fined for misgendering. Whoa. Well, it matters though, because we take a plane back to the States and Governor Hochul has announced a new police unit to combat hate speech. What?
What did you say, nigga?
I need to have that drop. What did you say, my nigga? Governor Hochul has announced a new police unit to combat hate speech. What did you say? I know for sure my spidey sense is tingling. That's for damn sure.
Spider sense start tingling.
Woo! Now you have to look at the details, and it's just New York, but that's what Biden would want to do, California. They're trying to outdo each other like, I'm going to help the globalist agenda more than I am. I'm going to do this for guns and raise their age. They all race. And, Newsom is in line for president. What Hochul's like, I can be in line for president. Bill de Blasio's like, I can run for Congress or whatever. And I remember what I did at mayor when I did all the draconian stuff. And Andrew Cuomo's like, don't forget about me. I did a lot of stuff too, boss. All anti-MAGA, all against the people. All against the deplorables.
Half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
Combat hate speech. Who the hell decides what hate speech is? The people in power do. Hochul previously stated there is a limit to what you can do. And hate crimes, hate speech is not protected. I might need to move my mic away. A little bit, just a little bit. Yes, it is. It actually is protected. I feel a little bit better. Hate speech is protected. Do you think we are stupid? We don't know the First Amendment doesn't mean you keep your job. Doesn't mean a private business can't boot you out. But what it does mean is the government can't arrest you. Governor Hochul, it actually is protected. That's what the First Amendment is. What country am I in? Somebody can say this without any repercussion. Or I don't mean like being put in jail or anything. I'm just like, there's no retort other than who? Guess who? Guess who the only group that's retorting this or attacking this or going against it? It's MAGA or MAGA friendly, libertarian. That's the only group going against this. Hate speech is protected. You can't. You are allowed to hate. Because the reason is one person's hate is another person's love. I wanted to do the segment on the trans cheerleader out of love. And I guarantee you somebody would think it's hate, and they're entitled to their opinion. Of course, Jonathan Turley said that's not true. Hate speech is constitutionally protected. He had to add that in there. He's like, I can't let this just hang out there like that. Casual Goats, thanks for stopping by. I did an earlier live. I do them whenever I can. I really like the earlier lives. Hate speech isn't real. God, Bishop, friend of show, thanks for stopping by. Everybody else who's been able to stop by. Hate speech isn't real. That's not a real thing. If I say I don't like your dress, is that hate speech? Governor Hochul, if I say you have a funny looking face, is that hate speech? What is hate speech? It's in the eye of the beholder. It would be as asinine as labeling something as love speech. If my wife, I've talked about this before, my wife the other day was like, hey, what are you doing Friday? You got anything going Friday evening? You want to come to the gym with me later? Is that love speech? Because what she's really thinking in her head is like, I'm going to the gym every day, I'm getting cut, and you are a fat ass. Is that hate speech? I would consider them both love speech because she's looking out to say, hey, you might want to take care of yourself a little bit. But it's all in the eye of the beholder. You could call either one love or either one hate. Governor Hochul, if I call you a dumbass, is that hate speech? Or am I loving you by telling you to get your ass smarter, read some books, stop trying to oppress people? That could be a love speech. It's just a matter of perspective. You do look funny though. But that's looks are off the table. I'm just trying to get in this world of understanding. Do I need to have power to determine what's love or hate? If I say I have nothing but love for fellow citizens, even the ones that made mistakes on J6, is that hate speech? If I say I have love for fellow citizens, even the ones that made mistakes during the summer of love, is that hate speech? This way, this Star Wars thing came up and people didn't like the feel of the show because it's a critical theory show. You're taking Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of the iconic characters of Star Wars, and he's like a little bitch in the show, and people are complaining about it. Is that hate speech, or can they have an opinion? What are the rules that you abide by? I didn't have a problem with The Last Jedi, but I understand where people are saying like Luke Skywalker is all messed up in the head. Like Disney, is it okay to have a white male that's not a bitch in a movie? Is that hate speech or is that love speech? I think it's love speech. Do better. That's just my opinion on it. So she's going down this avenue. This is a serious avenue that she's going down. This is not like a I think, or they're taking advantage of this moment of confusion and anger, just like Star Wars, to the dark side, to eliminate freedoms. And my next story, if you're hanging around, obviously it's a long live. I got stories for days that all go to this anti-populist movement. Pretty much every story that you see on your timeline probably is an anti-populist story. The Star Wars thing, that's an anti-populist, anti-MAGA type of thing, in my opinion. It's critical theory. Critical theory leads to this ideology, and neo-Marxism is controlled by those in power. Those in power are against MAGA. It's either 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees of separation from MAGA. What Kathy Hochul's doing here is to stop you from you watching this right now. She would label this video hate. I guarantee it. And if she would disagree with that, I would love for her to show examples of things that she disagrees with or things that are pro-MAGA. I would like her to tell me about things that are pro-MAGA that are not hate. So that would force her to have to say, hey, I don't agree with this, but it's not hate. So she signed this story came out a while ago, but it wasn't signed into law. Signed into law now. And we are at the moment where it's time to stand up. Can't be silent. If you know what's going on, can't be silent. Have to be loving, in my opinion, or the message will not hit home. Have to be understanding, or the message will not hit home. You'll have no chance to have a message hit home if you're not loving and understanding. I will go a little bit more into this story just to show what's going on here. Governor Kathy Hochul is reacting to the recent mass shooting in Buffalo with this legislation. That's kind of like the point. That's where she's going with this. And I'll share the article here, just a little bit of it, to give a little bit of context. I mean, really to go in depth, I'll probably just do a whole nother recorded segment on it. But it's supposed to prevent future incidents of this type of Buffalo. That's why New York is involved here. The focus from the bill, I have not read the bill, just from this article from USA News, USSA News. This article says that from the bill, it's more online, and I did see that too. So that's clear violation of the First Amendment. Government can't infringe on free speech in that manner. It's a clear violation of the First Amendment. But they're violating the Second Amendment. So where does it stop? Reports say that the Buffalo shooter was previously hospitalized after making threats against a school. Also took these threats online in some posts. So that gives them the door to say, oh, it's not like this stuff is already monitored. We know all the stories about government agencies knowing about what was happening in the chat room and stuff, or at least people who used to work for the government. That's not enough. So you can use this hate speech to go after anyone. In the state of New York, we're now requiring social media networks to monitor and report hateful conduct on their platforms. That's not legal. If they wanted to do that on their own, I think they should be public entities. So I don't think they should be able to do that on their own, and the algorithm should be public. But that's what it is. According to the governor, the state will set up a task force whose focus will be violent extremism. Just what we need, another government task force. And social media. And this body will also investigate the role of social media in promoting domestic terror. So if I talk about being pro 2A, but I want to be peaceful, does that fall under her? She would be the deciding factor on that. She would get to decide. I don't know about you, but that's some scary stuff.